Welcome to the channel. My name is Sean from Bye Bye Panic, and in this video I wanted to share with you a progress update from someone who's focused on the recovery journey. I'm going to be speaking with Yang. Now, Yang joined the program about 3 months ago, and like many people, he fell into the cycle without really knowing what was happening. He experienced basically a panic attack, and when that happens, he wasn't sure what was going on. And so a lot of people I see experience this. They might have this happen in the car, or they might have it in other situations, and then what happens is that when they go back and experience similar situations, it's almost like their brain is trying to make an association, and then what happens is the panic comes back. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because Yang was trying to figure out what was going on, and his mind just got onto, hey, it might be the onions he was eating because he was eating food at that time. But in this video, I want to share with you that it doesn't really matter what the trigger is. The focus on recovery is exactly the same. Yang is an amazing person, very great mindset. He actually has a medical background and he's from China. So it really shows you that no matter where you are in the world, the principles of recovery are universal. And so he really shares, especially towards the end of the video, a lot of the mindsets that's really helping him along the journey. He's still experiencing symptoms because he's been going through this journey, but he's been doing so much better. And now he really is having the confidence to not only live his life fully, but also having the confidence that this is all going to go away, and he's seeing the progress along the way. So without further ado, let's check out the video. I hope you enjoy it. What's up, everybody? I have Yang here. Yang was in the program for about 3 months, and I invited Yang to hop on the channel just because he has such a great story and he's been doing such a great job. So Yang, welcome, man.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks for inviting me here.
Of course, man. Of course. So Yang, everyone probably wants to know, first and foremost, what were the symptoms that you were really struggling with? What would you say?
So like you said, I'm in the program for about 3 months, and I fall into the cycle about 1.5 years ago. That is December of 2021. So some of my symptoms, I think, is very strongly linked to how I fall into this cycle. So I think I may talk about how all this begin, how I fall into this cycle first, and then I can share some of my symptoms. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Of course, yes.
Yes. Okay. In the beginning, it's one day I was going to meet a friend in a cafe, and we are eating some salad, and suddenly I felt the chest. There is a very obvious heartbeat. I know it's palpitation now here. And first I didn't care about it, but it comes out again several minutes later. So my attention is here. I don't know if there is anything wrong, but I don't know. I don't have some explanation why I have this. So I'm a little worried about this. So I go out of the mall to breathe. I get some oxygen, and then this symptom are still there. And at that time, I am eating a salad, and in the salad there are onions, the onion in the salad. So because the onion has a very special fever, so my mind, I think my brain connects the fever and this all information in that situation to my symptom. So I become worried and concerned about what if I have some heart condition? What if I get allergic? What if these symptoms get worse? So my friend sent me to the hospital. I go to the ER room and get some tests like the ECG and test my blood for the cardiac markers. The results are all right or normal. So, and at that night, my symptoms are all fade away. So I went home. I think I'm okay. It's just some food or some stimulation. It's temporary. But the next several days, I went back to work as usual. But when I am in the meeting room in my workplace, there is a fear. I found myself worried about I can't breathe because I think the room is out of oxygen. It's lack of oxygen. But I know there is enough oxygen because I in the room for many times, and all my colleagues are all great. So, and then I have the palpitation again. So, and at that time, I think something is wrong with me because I don't know how to explain this. By the way, I should mention my background is medicine. So I have many medical terms or medical imagination about this whole things. So I went to the hospital again and did some more advanced or more extra examination, like the heart ultrasound of the heart and the 24 hours ECG, the Holter, I think it's called, to monitor the heartbeat of the heart. And all the examinations are normal again. So, and the doctors don't know what this is. So I just went back and keep living. And at that time, my symptoms are not that obvious. So I just kept living. Yeah. But one day I went to a restaurant and eat some food. There are some ingredients in the food like onions, but it's not onions. And all this situation, all this bring back the memories of the onions. So at that time, I first experienced the panic attack. I didn't know panic attack before, even I am a medical background. And as everyone watching this video, many of you may not heard the panic attack before, like me. So when we first meet this guy, it's very horrible, I think. It can cause you like a lot out of control, fear, death, like all this horrible disaster thoughts. So after that, all the symptoms came out till now. As you asked, what is my most concerned symptoms? I can talk some of them. Yeah. First one, I think, is the fear of the audience, because I call it some food anxiety, I think. Because during the journey, when I eat food every time, my mind divides the food into safe food and dangerous food. Yeah. Safe food is the food very normal, no stimulating fever. Dangerous food is like onions or some hot food, some food that is stimulating. So every time I eat, I think I eat very carefully. Yeah, I know it's funny, but I eat very carefully every bit, every sip. So I think if there are two eyes on my head, one eye is on the plate, on the food. One eye is focused on my chest to monitoring, to listening about my chest, about my heartbeat. Yeah, I think there are two versions of me when I eat. So I think this is one of my most concerned symptoms. It's the fear of some food. Yeah. And yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, fear of some food, and I think the fear of this food comes out because I fear the result, the consequence of this food. I may fear the dizziness, the panic attack, because I think that's very horrible and may lead to very horrible situations. The second one is the dizziness. I think the dizziness is very concerned myself, because about the dizziness, I think every step, I think my body is not stable. There are some trembling. So every step when the situation is very severe, I think every step I walk, like the eating, I walk very carefully. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I just doing this every step. I'm kind of like maybe the next step, if I'm not walk carefully, I may pass out. The dizziness may elevate it. So I have this fear of dizziness and pass out. This is the second one. And there are also some other symptoms like the panic attack I have experienced several times, and the DPDR now, because I should say I'm not out of the woods yet. I'm still on the journey, like Sean mentioned just now. So the DPDR is now my biggest symptoms, because it's like I am in a dream. The whole world and the people in front of me are not real. I kind of, there are something there. I think there is something between me and the world, like a curtain. Yeah. So that is very weird. And there are also some others, like intrusive thoughts, fear of flying, public speaking, and going to high places. But this is, I don't have these fears before I fall into this cycle. So I think this is all anxiety. I put it all under the anxiety umbrella. Yeah. So I think this is some of my symptoms.
Yeah. And so when it came to the food anxiety, did it happen because it was very similar with me too. When I had a panic attack, I started thinking I must have eaten something wrong. Do you feel like because you didn't know what was happening at the time, you didn't know it was a panic attack, you made that association with the food?
Yeah.
And because of that, now like the food is almost like a trigger. And the reason why is, Yang, you know this, right? Because there's people in the mentorship that got like a panic attack while driving. And now all of a sudden, when they've never like had issues driving, because they had it while they were driving, now whenever they're in a car, it triggers it the most. Would you say that was kind of the same thing as you, or do you feel like it's a little bit different?
I think it's the same because it's a wrong association between the situation. Like it decides, I think it decides on what you are doing when you first get the maybe some symptoms, the panic attack. Your brain may connect you, because your brain is searching and the danger where it comes from. So there may be other dangers, in the situation, but the food, the audience is most obvious, and it connects these two.
Yeah, and I'm sure the mentors have told you, and even I'm sure I've mentioned it a billion times. It's so interesting how anxiety works, right? Because the mind made the association to it just because it was looking. But when you look at recovery, you realize it doesn't matter what the trigger is. It doesn't matter if it's driving, if it's the onions, or if it's like something else that's going on, right? The response, it doesn't matter what the trigger is, right? As long as you nail down the response, it doesn't really matter. Because the mind will make an association to anything. And so the answer isn't, how do I respond to this trigger? How do I respond to that trigger? It doesn't matter what the trigger is. At the end of the day, it's anxiety is anxiety, and it's just how you respond that kind of makes the difference. And that's something I really wanted to highlight to people on the channel for sure. So that happened. And so you joined the mentorship. How was your experience at the beginning of the mentorship? Like as you were like focusing on, or actually before we do that, let me take a step back. How did you find like, I guess my work and stuff like that, or how did you start focusing on the recovery journey, I would say?
You mean how I went on this journey in the program, or?
Yeah, well, how did you start realizing that this was anxiety, and how did you start focusing on, okay, I need to overcome anxiety. Like, I need to focus on overcoming. It's like, how did that journey look like to you? Were you like reading books? Were you watching videos? Like, what essentially happened?
You mean what I have tried during the the journey. Okay, because I think I'm lucky enough to find your program before I get to some misleading information or misleading some other ways. Because as we talk about, there are many people, they tried many things, medicine and other ways. I think I didn't try that much. There are some of them. Like first, I think it's information, because I am in China. First, I just searched information because I don't know what this is. So I searched the internet. I searched some medical websites, both in Chinese and in English. Some of the famous medical database, like the Mayo Clinic, the website. Like this clinical and medicine website to find some information. But in that medical information, I found the information may be so medical, because because I don't think I have some severe disease. But in the website, I found most of the ways to deal with this. They emphasize on the drugs and some exercise, like the breath technique, that one. But I don't think that works for me. I tried some of them, the technique, but I don't take any drugs on this journey. And the second information source, I think I mentioned, is some Chinese forum, because not like the English world, the information in Chinese is not that much, and many of them, I can say all of them, is misleading, because many of them are sharing how using some drugs, get some rest when you have the panic attack. And during that, I'm lucky enough to get a name of this Clear Weeks. Yeah, Clear Weeks. I found this name in the forum. Someone mentioned it. So I searched this name on Google, on YouTube. And first I just get some, because there are so many misleading information when I stand at this time point to look back. I have made so many coping and managing techniques of the symptoms. They are not working. And sometimes when I look back, I think some of them are even silly, I think, or ridiculous. But at that time, I don't have other options. So every technique, every ways I found, I will have a try at least. And then I joined some other program, and not long before, because maybe I watched so many or searched the Clear Weeks, the keywords. Not long after that, I found your channel. So I think I didn't go a very long way to get to the right information. Yeah. And during the journey, I also, because it's a mind journey, it's not a physical journey, I think. So sometimes when I'm alone, I think I also get a frustration and not have the courage, because we know this is a journey, needs some courage. So sometimes I also watched some TV show to give me courage, like the Band of Brothers. Yeah, I think this war, yeah, the TV show may give me some courage, and it did. And here I can give an example of how I face the food anxieties, because after the panic attack, after I fall into this cycle, I think in my whole life in the future, I may not have the courage or to eat the onions again, because I know I ate it, I will have the symptoms. I will have the panic attack. It's very horrible. I think I will never eat it. So the fear is still or always in my mind, if this is avoidance, I think. So first, how I overcome this? First, I ask my mom, if have I ate onions before? Have you made onions for me when I'm in my childhood? My mom said, I made so many of onions for you to eat. And I also, know I have eaten so many of them in the past. So I know I'm not allergic to the onions. So the second step, I ask my mom to make some onions, and they are fried. Yeah, not fresh onions, step by step for me to eat. And my mom sits before me. I will ask her to watch me eating this if something bad happens. And first, when I face this fear, face the food, I think the anxiety level elevated very, 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 very obvious because I faced it directly. And after that, I keep eating onions maybe 3 times, 4 times a week. And sometimes I even found it's delicious and it tastes good. So I think this is a very big change or very big progress after I joined this program and get the courage and the mindset of how I deal with every situation, every symptoms it comes. So, and it's funny to share another thing about the onions. One day, I make a bowl of onions, and I know when I eat it, the anxiety will come out. So I need some courage. So I play a video game. I found a video game. At that time, I'm playing a video game called Little Nightmares. Yeah, I told myself, if I play the games, if I die in the game once, I will eat the onions one bit. So with the help of the video game, it's a horrible game like the anxiety. I ate all the bowl of the onions that day. So I think it's funny because anxiety, I think, is some kind of game, some big illusion games. We may talk about it later. Yeah, so this is the things I have tried during the journey, some information and some of the ways I learned from the program. I didn't think I tried many other misleading ways before I found this channel. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it seems like you've been doing a little bit of like exposure too, right? With like the onions and stuff. And that's great. Like systematically building it up. And so you started the program, you've been in there 3 months, you're still on your journey. How are you doing now in terms of like living life and just the clarity? And, you know, we were both talking about it. You said that you're still experiencing symptoms, which is what I would expect right now too. But how is your overall, like how are you doing in general right now?
Okay. I think I'm doing good. I'm still on the journey, not out of the woods yet. I think there are 2 sides. One is the symptom, one is my mindset. I think there's that 2. Yeah. One is the symptoms. I think the symptoms are shifting all the time during the journey. And sometimes now the symptoms may be more than before, I think, because I choose to face, not to avoid now. So like the DPDR or some other symptoms, I didn't care about the symptoms that much. Yeah, so because with the tool or the mindset I learned from this program, now I can do everything, like flying, going to high places, public speaking. I think I can do everything I want to do with the symptoms alongside. It's hard, yeah. I don't say it's easy. It's comfortable. Yeah, it's hard. It's not that comfortable, but I can do everything I want to do because I have done it. I have done it in the last maybe 1 month or 2 months. Yeah. And
That's awesome. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, keep going.
Okay, and I think the biggest change for me is the mindset change, because now I think maybe even there are so many symptoms, but I think I am responsible for myself and the recovery, because I know how anxiety works from this channel. I learned from you and other mentors. I know it's all the symptoms of anxiety. So during this journey, I found when anxiety is low, when the anxiety level is low, I think everyone agrees. When the anxiety level is low, it's very easy to respond because you are peaceful. But when the anxiety level is high, it's really hard to accept the truly acceptance. Yeah, everyone knows to accept, to heal, to recovery. But when the anxiety level is high, it's really hard to accept. And sometimes I also got frustration and doubt even now. But I know there are no excuses. No excuses. It's on myself. So this is the biggest change, I think, is the mindset. I am responsible, and I have confidence to keep going. And I also I'm in China, and I am medicine background. And during this journey, during the program, I also found myself there may be some responsibilities came out, because I also want to help others like me. So I think I have this responsibility, not only confidence. I also have this responsibility to keep going, to get to the end of the tunnel, to get recovered. Because if I can't get if I can't get recovery after I get so many great mentors, great information, I think others in my country, they don't have this maybe some language barriers. So I don't think they have much chance like me to do this. Yeah. So I want to do this on myself and help others like me. So this is my thought. Because in Chinese, because I also made a podcast in Chinese before I fall into this cycle. In Chinese, it's called Fever Radio. It's just about no, it's about health and how to about the well-being, about your wellness. It's on this topic. So I think this is how I do it now. Symptoms more, mindset changed, responsibility more.
It's awesome. You said so many great things. And by the way, it's like awesome on creating a podcast to help out. Yeah, I told you before we recorded this that if you ever wanted me to hop on the podcast and just talk about it, I'm more than happy to and support you.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's so many good things you said, because the first thing you mentioned is that and I think it's really important for people to understand on the channel that you're doing a lot better, but you're still experiencing symptoms. And yes, people that are stuck in the cycle, they have a hard time grasping that. How can I be doing better while I'm still experiencing the symptoms? But the shift that you've realized is that it's not the symptoms that matter anymore. Everyone's so focused on the symptoms to make it go away, but that's what keeps it alive. And one of the things you're doing is that you're now living life alongside the symptoms. And then what happens when that happens, and we talk a lot about it. We've talked a lot about it in the mentorship. You know, you've been there too. We say it in the content of the modules too, is that whenever you start allowing whenever you start allowing and start living life, it's like a balloon, right? Anxiety recovery is like a balloon. It's like your life is getting bigger and bigger, but the anxiety is going to always try to resist like a balloon and try to come down. And so you're experiencing even more symptoms. But then when people say, oh, well, I'm experiencing more symptoms, I must be going backwards. It's like, actually, because you're pushing the boundaries and stuff like that, naturally you're going to be experiencing more symptoms. It's about how you're responding. So the first part of what you're talking about is really great. And that's what I noticed on my recovery journey too, which is when I started really going back to living, my symptoms went up. But because the symptoms went up and then finally I was able to respond and I saw them subside on their own, now I started getting the momentum. I'm like, okay, now I know the technique and I know the skill to like respond. And then it was just about living life, right? So that was the first thing how you said. And then the second thing, which is a big part, which is, taking that, it's that mindset that you were talking about, Yang, which is that mindset of taking responsibility, that no one else is going to do this for you, and that this is more of a mind game now. Yeah. And I think what's awesome with you and what I see in you is that when I look at what's the motivation, like for you, for example, you kind of have like this big vision too, which is, I want to have a podcast to help people in my country where there might be a language barrier. Yeah. And so now this is like a great motivation for you to work to, and like your mindset is just really solid. My mindset wasn't as like grand. Mine was just, can I go back to work? Like that was literally, and like for me, it was like a normal like 9-to-5 job, like nothing too crazy, just enough to make enough money to like be independent so that I wasn't relying on my parents forever. But it was still a goal, and that really helped me. And it made me realize that no one's going to help me get out of this because I tried everything and it wasn't working. And what I needed was information and guidance, but I was the one that was executing. And that's what's really great about you too. Is you've owned that piece so well. And it's amazing. It's great to see like how much progress you've really made in the last 3 months in terms of all those elements. And you'll see as you progress, the symptoms falling off happen on its own as a consequence down the line. What I really look at is what's the mindset, how are they responding, and what is their patience like? What is their consistency like? If those 3 things are in place, the symptoms will go away on its own, no problem. And so that's really one of the greatest things about you, man. So that's been really great.
Thank you. Because I think everyone, like myself, we all want to be the old version of ourselves before this cycle. We want to go back to that time. So I also want to be the old version of me, the old me, because this journey is not, maybe the how we face it is simple, but not easy. It's hard and needs many consistency and courage during this journey. Yes.
Yeah. And one of the things, I made a video on this before, which was like, I was chasing the old version. I was trying to go back to old Sean. Yeah. And then what I realized is that my life is better than old Sean's. Like I'm doing more things. I'm handling more stress. I'm more confident. I'm all these things. So it was like me chasing old Sean seems silly now. It's like, well, I mean, and so one of the good things is that you will be your old version, but you'll also be like a 2.0 version too. I'm sure you saw, Yang, like in the program. This even happens in the program. Sometimes people will have like limiting beliefs. They'll have mindset issues. They'll have like things that, that will kind of sabotage their recovery. And that's not even related to anxiety. These are just personality things that, they have to learn to let go of. And so when you're going through the recovery journey, you have to learn to let go of those things, right? Like learn to be patient. How to respond, like emotionally regulate. These are all the things like you have to learn through the recovery journey. So I always say you become like a 2.0 version of yourself. You become like a more self-developed version of yourself. So it's really great. But yeah, you go back to your old self too at the same time. It's that old Yang is still there. It's still there. It's just a matter of like, as this problem starts disappearing, old Yang comes back on its own. Like you don't have to do anything. And so that's really the great part about it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What would you tell somebody right now who's on the channel, who's listening, who feels like they've just hit rock bottom, that they don't know what to do? Like, what is some advice that you would give that person?
Okay, on this part, I want to share maybe some keywords and some aha moments of myself. I think this experience may help others and not some just knowledge or some knowledge I learned from the program and the mentors. First, I think is in a big view, I think this anxiety, we should treat it like it's not an enemy of us. It's not an enemy of us to deal with, to fight. It's a very strong protecting mechanism of our body. So all the symptoms, all the hard days, the bad days you experience, I experience, I think they are all proof of how strong our body and man is, not the opposite, not how weak it is. Because the symptoms, the anxiety is so obvious, so high. Why? Because our body wanted to help our body, help you so much, because it wants you to survive, to go on living. Yeah, it wants to keep you survive. So it's on its survival mode. So I think this is first, it's a protective mechanism, but just wrong, or in this modern society, as we mentioned before, it may not cause some trouble. And second, as I mentioned just now, I treat it like a big illusion video game, because the game is so real, because it's in real life. It's so real, and symptoms are real physical symptoms. Your heart is beating, your palms are sweating. So it's so real to trick you because it's so real. But like in a video game, there is always a bug. There is always a bug. You can find a way out, because you can find sometimes there is something wrong. There are some aha moments. You know why this comes out. What if that is a pattern, or there is a way out? There are some aha moments of myself. I may share some of them. One is, just now we talked about the old version and the new version of ourselves. There is a story and experience of myself. There are maybe 2 or 3 times. One day I was in a park. I work in the park, and I'm experiencing very high anxiety, the DPDR. And this is a mirror time, I think, because there is a mirror in the toilet of the park. So when I experience the anxiety I'm feeling very much of myself, I look the mirror. In the mirror, there is a version of me. I look in the mirror, that guy, that version, the mirror young, is watching myself. But I saw him, he is so peaceful, like there is nothing special. But I am experiencing the symptoms so high, so anxiety. So at that time, I saw it's me, it's real time. I like the mirror young is telling myself, it's all right, it's all in your brain, because I see him, it's my old version. The old version is there. So I think this is maybe like a dream. But from this moment, I get the conclusion. This is all in my mindset, not about my body. Not some real medical disease. This is a mirror time. And second, keywords I want to share is pattern, because the pattern, this word helped me a lot during this journey, because every time in the situation, it's the same situation, same kind of pattern, same kind of symptoms, same kind of pack of symptoms, like a panic attack, dizziness, hot flash, the whole body, and then trembling body, and then panic. And there are no other symptoms, like no this, no your eye hurting, no this symptom. Every time is this combination, this 3 guys, these 3 symptom guys. Every time I got in the restaurant, these 3 guys came out. So it repeat and repeat again. So I know from this time, from the repeating, I know it's not severe medical problems. It's a pattern. It's anxiety. So from this, I build my confidence and to keep going. And the other keywords I want to share is talk through response, talk through your action. Because just now I mentioned the body wants to protect us, and they protect us through the anxiety, all the symptoms, all the DPDR. But we want to talk to our brain. Don't show these symptoms again. I'm all right, but not verbally, because you can't talk to your brain through your words, through your verbally. So how we talk to our brain to stop this is all okay. We should talk to the brain through our action and response, because this is the language our brain can understand. You just keep doing, refocusing on what you are doing on your regular routine. So you repeat, because the panic, the anxiety repeats as its cycle, and you should not get into his cycle. You should repeat in your life cycle, and through your life cycle, you act and your response as yourself. So through this way, you talk to your brain through your response and your everyday and daily action. So I think as the time goes on, as Sean mentioned, the symptoms will subside by itself. Yeah, I think this is talk through response. Yeah, not verbally with some fear. This not working, because your brain don't know this language. Yeah, it just know the response and action. And the last keyword I think is trust. Is the word trust. We should trust our body, trust our hand, trust our heart, trust our mind. As Clearwax mentioned in this book, I think she mentioned, yes, it's a trembling hand, it's a palpitation heart, but it's still a good heart, a good hand to work, to keep you living, to keep you doing things. So you can do it. Even it's trembling, you can grab water, you can drink water. So just keep doing what you should do, focusing on your life, plan things around your life, not the anxiety. Yeah. So just like I think it's Winston Churchill, his sayings. He says, if you are going through hell, just keep going. Yeah, I think yes. So this is my what I can share to someone in the same shoes during the journey. Yeah.
These are also. I was actually writing a couple of them down. I love the talk to your brain through your response and action. And I mean, all those phrases were kind of. I love it, all of it. If you're going through hell, keep going too. I want to put that in. Like how in our in the mentorship in the beginning, before everyone hops on the call, there's all these quotes.
Yeah,
throw that on
there. Thank you. Yeah, because I think when the anxiety level is high, our mind is low. We can't think of the knowledges we learn. We just can think of some golden sentences or some keywords, and first we grab it and act. So every time I think the pattern, response, and like this, so I just doing this.
I love it. Yang, I appreciate you hopping on the channel. You've done a great job. The mentors and I, Mirka, Kaylee, everybody, super happy with the work you put in. We're so glad. And yeah, you're on the journey, but like you're in a really good place. Like you're gonna be still like going through the journey, but like the building blocks are there. So it's just a matter of navigating through that, and you've done a fantastic job. So really glad. Let me know when you do the podcast, and let me know when I can do that.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to talk to you, and thanks from my heart to you and all the mentors and this whole program, the BBP program. It not only helped me, and I think also helped many others like me. Yeah, thank you.
Of course, man. Of course, dude. So I hope everybody enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.